Hi, kids. This is Jake Johnson reminding you to stay off drugs. And if you'll just say, what? This is the wrong PSA. Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm Jake Johnson. This is Untethered. I'm sitting here in North Carolina by the fire, feeling isolated from the and trying to survive. How about you? Have you been doing anything creative? Have you built anything? Have you made anything? Have you grown anything? Have you read anything? Have you learned anything? That's what I've been doing. Trying to excise this, world-sized hole in my brain. Fill it up. Make it a little more tolerable. Days go by. More days go by. More days go by. Here we are. What's up, T-Bone? Michael? Good to see you. Sitting here with my trusty drink, my guitar in hand, close by. I had a whole thing prepared for you. I was going to play some music with my electric guitar to some backing tracks, and they didn't work. So scratch that. It'll just be me tonight, but we're going to have a good time. I got some good music lined up for you tonight. Mr. Mercer, assalamu alaikum, or whatever you guys say. Starting off with a bang, we've already got 3 or 4 people here. Good deal. So tell me how your week has been. Your weekend, rather. I spent the entire weekend inspecting the back of my eyelids. It took a while, but I think I've narrowed it down to, there's only 2 holes that I found anyway, and I'm doing my best to repair them. Well, I'm lazy, that's what I'm trying to say. You bought a car, sweet. Tell me what kind. Mr. Mercer's been busy. How about you, Michael? What you been doing this fine weekend past? Been building houses? Learning a new language, maybe? Catching up on some good old time rock and roll? Sitting at home. Were you digging up bones? Tonight I'm sitting at home digging up bones. Y'all have to forgive me, I'm in a rare mood tonight. I've been going down memory lane most of the evening trying to come up with something to talk about. And I figured I'll just tell you guys some stories from my childhood. Like, one that came across me today was remembering how I learned how to drive. The story goes, I was in Florida at the time. I was 11 years old. And my dad was a welder, and he knew all the bikers in town. And, you know, he was the big man on the job, so they all came to him for work. It's a pretty good position to be in, I would say, because everybody wants your help, which means they owe you all the favors. Well, this one particular fateful day, we were out in, I believe it was Polk City, Florida, which is a big stretch of nothing, and I mean nothing. We were out there in the middle of a cow pasture having one hell of a party. I mean, there must have been 500 bikers there, and all manner of welders and pipe fitters and boiler makers, and, you know the like, the riffraff. I was born into it by royalties' sake. Anyway, we were partying down, and my dad's getting drunker and drunker by the minute. I mean, he is hammered, and he's yelling and carrying on with all his biker friends, and me and all the other little youngins are running around like maniacs with our shirts off and just going crazy and, rigging up big steel drums and picking them up in the air in the pouring rain and, that sort of thing. Well, it's just about to get dark. It's probably an hour from dark. My dad waddles over to me, kind of staggers a little, and he says, "Can you drive a stick?" I was like, "No, I'm 11. I can't drive an automatic." He says, "Well, there's a cow pasture, and here's the keys. Figure it out and pick me up when you're ready." Okay. So I got in this, I believe it was in his Isuzu pickup truck, one of them little trucks, 5-speed. And I grinded and I gouged and I had a heart attack a few times, I think. But I finally figured it out after about 30, 45 minutes. And I got to where I could shift the gears without grinding them anyway. Go pretty fast. So I whipped on around out of the cow pasture and pulled up next to my dad. And he fell in the passenger seat and he said, "Let's go home, son." And then by the time I got to the end of the driveway, he was out cold with his hat down over his face, sleeping, shoes off, knees up to his chest, bent over like an old sack of taters, sawing logs. And I said, well, it's a good thing I remember my way home. So I drove us home, and I've been driving ever since. A week after that, I bought my first car. It was a Ford Maverick. Had no title, had no tags, was never legal. I never drove it on the highway. I drove it through the woods, but it was mine, and I bought it with my own money. And I loved it. It was a Ford Maverick, pitch black, with chrome everywhere. It looked like one of those Mustangs. It was the kind, it wasn't a hatchback, but it was a short trunk, and it had the gas tank in the middle of the back, It looked just like a Mustang, except it was a Maverick. And, man, I was proud of that car, and I loved it, too. It looked like something the Punisher would drive. It had a chain steering wheel, kick-ass stereo system, all leather interior. It's probably a beat-up piece of junk, but I remember it fondly. And, it was definitely a piece of junk by the time I got through with it, anyway, driving it through the woods. And I graduated from that to a Chevette. But the time I got about 13 years old is when I got interested in women. And I asked my dad one time, I said, "How do you find a good woman?" He said, "Son, there's only two things in life that make it worth living. Guitar tuned good and tied and naked women. You don't need your name in the marquee lights. You got a song and you got her tonight. Maybe it's time we get back to the basics of love. Let's go to Luckenbach, Texas, Waylon and Willie and the boys. This successful life we're living's got us feeling like the Hatfields and McCorkle. Between Hank Williams' train songs and Jake Johnson's pain songs and Blue Eyes crying in the rain. Out in Luckenbach, Texas, ain't nobody tell you. About the time that I started driving, it was about time for me to move out on my own. I moved out when I was 14 years old. I moved into a condo in Bartow, Florida. I had this nice looking little 17-year-old I was with. Her name was Linda Evans, not the Linda Evans that's on TV, but a Linda Evans nonetheless. She probably don't remember me now. Of course, I'm not the me that I was back then either, so. I thought I was something. So young and making money and living in a house that I was paying for a little while. I mean, I didn't stay there long, but, you know. I thought I was doing right. Friends are everything, though. If you don't have friends to fall back on, you don't have anything. Friends will keep you up long past the time you want to fall down. They mean something. They're important. Friends are everything. But here lately, nobody wants to get high. these songs out just for you guys. Friends are everything, but a young man needs to know how to work. And that's exactly what I was doing at 14 and 15. I was killing myself. I was working for grown men, and I was just a tiny thing. I wasn't no bigger than my thumb is now. And they didn't call me none. They worked me like a man, daylight to dark, and I worked like a man, daylight to dark, and I didn't hold back nothing. I was a roofer and a stucco guy, and I graduated from that to ironwork. And by the time I was in my 20s, I decided maybe I ought to go to college. So I went to college for 2 years, went to trade school for 2 years, and I said, maybe I ought to play guitar for a living. So I quit all that and started playing guitar. Either way you go, though, it's work ethic that matters. That's kind of what this song is about. What's up? We're digging and sitting from 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Float tree like the whiskey in the bar. Said it was the big thing and said it was my heart. It was fire on the mountain, lightning in the air. There's golden in the hills and it's waiting on me there. Dance hall girls were the evening tree. Gods and bloodlines birds on the street. Men were shot for the sake of fun, or just to live on it. 44 guns, I say, fire on the mountain, lightning in the air. There's golden hills and it's waiting on me there. Fire on the mountain, lightning in the air. There's golden hills and it's waiting on me there. Waiting on me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free from a man that she couldn't save. Shot down cold blood by the gun that carried fame. All for the reasons I'm dying. Everybody claimed he sang fire on the mountain, lightning in the air. There's golden hills and it's waiting on me there. Long about the time that I started getting going good in my new life. A woman by my side, friends all around, hard work every day, money coming in. I realized that my genetics were playing a role in my life and that all my teeth were bad. Apparently it's something that runs in my family. Nobody told me that. Wouldn't have mattered if they did. You see, I had some surgeries when I was a boy that pretty much ruined my bones. The anesthesia they gave me had some pretty powerful stuff in it. One of the side effects was causing all my teeth to rot out. So these beauties are plastic. So anyway, there I was, had a mouthful of abscesses. My teeth were shut and I couldn't open my mouth. And I was about to bust my teeth out with a ball peen hammer when my mama stopped me and she said, we're going to take you to the dentist. So she loaded me up in the car and we were headed down the road. And just as I was getting good and comfortable, I realized that we were driving down the interstate, running 30 minutes late, singing Margarita, building, holding my own. A foreign car driving through with a road rage attitude, pulled up beside me, acting on his cell phone. He started yelling like I did something wrong, pointing the finger, then it was gone. Some beach somewhere. There's a big umbrella casting a shade over an empty chair. Palm trees are growing and warm breezes blowing. Picture myself right there on some beach somewhere. We circled the parking lot trying to find a spot just big enough so we could park at our truck. The man with the big cigar was getting into his car. I stopped and waited for him to back up. From out of nowhere, a Mercedes-Benz came cruising up right in some beach somewhere. There's nowhere to go when you got all day just to get me there. There's cold margaritas and hot senoritas, smiling with long dark hair on some beach somewhere. We sat and waited, it seemed like all afternoon. The nurse said the doctor's finally ready for you. You're not gonna feel a thing 'cause you did some cocaine in the bathroom just a minute or two. He stuck the needle down deep in my throat. He started drilling before I was on some beach somewhere. There's a big umbrella casting a shade over an empty chair. There's cold margaritas and hot senoritas, and you're smiling with long black hair on some beach somewhere. On some beach somewhere. I still remember that too. That was bad. So, got all my teeth pulled out. Felt like I called Mike Tyson a sissy. That's what I felt like. And he didn't like it very much. But I got some pretty new chompers and nothing could stop me after that. So I went straight out and I fell in love with the first girl I could find. was a mighty fine woman. You know, in terms of cattle. I said nothing can stop me. I didn't say I was pretty. I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, you haven't changed me. You didn't think that I'd remember. How could I forget? We sang Bobby McGee on the hood of my car. Made a wish on every star in that clear September sky. One bottle of wine, 2 Dixie cups, yeah, I fell in love for the first time in my life. Oh, that's something just don't happen twice. To this day, I still taste that first kiss. I prayed it would be. In a way, seeing you like this, I guess it never really did. Sang Bobby McGee on the hood of my car. Made a wish on every star in that clear September sky. One bottle of wine, 2 Dixie cups, yeah, I fell in love for the first time in my life. That's something, yeah, that's something, yeah, that's something just don't happen twice. Sang Bobby McGee on the hood of my car. Yeah. But, you know, no sooner did I fall in love than I fell out of love. Then there was the nasty divorce. First one. I had women strung up. I'm a collector, in case you didn't know. I've been married 5 times. Count them. 5 times. But in all fairness, twice to the same woman. And the next one might be the last one. I don't know. You're a bad monkey? You're cooking steer? Send me some, man. I could use a hamburger. So, anyway, the first divorce was bad, the second divorce was terrible, and the third divorce was downright devastating. You do the math on that. I've been married 5 times, but I've had 3 divorces. Yes, I did the ending a little different than they did it. And again, one of them things. That's what happens when you do way too many drugs and don't play enough songs. Thank you, sir. In all my goings and comings, though, no matter what I've been through or no matter where I've been, it's important to remember where you come from. And no matter how far away I go, I'm a country boy. having fun? I'm having a pretty good time. I hope you are too. Ain't nobody saying much. Kinda makes me sad. There's one. No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man. I'm blue-eyed. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be faded, telling only lies. But my dreams, they are as empty as my cartoon seems to be. I have hours all lonely. My love is vengeance that's never free. No one knows what it's like to feel these feelings like I do. I blame you. No one bites back as hard on their anger. None of their hate and woe show through. But my dreams, they are as empty as my cartoon seems to be. I have hours all lonely. Love is vengeance that's never free. No one knows what it's like to be mistreated, to be defeated, telling only lies. No one knows how to say I'm sorry. Don't worry, I'm not telling lies. My dreams, they are as empty as my cartoon seems to be. I have hours lonely. My love is vengeance that'll never be free. No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, be the sad man. I'm blue-eyed. All right. Like a fig. That last part of that song, I got lost, man. I was thinking of another song and it popped in my head and it was like standing in front of the words. I couldn't remember the last part there. Anyway, I was thinking of this song. done screwing around. You guys have anything you'd like to hear? Just write it down. That's about the lines we're down in Georgia. That's about what they're hugging innocent man. Trust your soul in a backwoods southern lawyer. Judge in the town's got blood stains on his hands. Yeah, I'm not a chick, so I can't hit that note. It's a great song, though. Man, time just flying by. Maybe I'll find something good for you. Whew. I got my toes in the water, my ass in the sand, not a worry in the world, a cold beer in my hand. Life is good today, life is good today. Well, the plane touched down about 3 o'clock and the city is still on my mind. Keenies and palm trees danced in my head, I was still in a baggage line. Concrete cars with their own prison bars, like this life I'm living in. But the plane brought me farther, I'm surrounded by water, and I'm not going back again. I got my toes in the water, my ass in the sand, not a worry in the world, a cold beer in my hand. Life is good today, life is good today. Adios and bye, con Dios. Yeah, I'm leaving today. If it weren't for tequila and senorita, I'd have no reason to stay. Adios and bye, con Dios. Yeah, I'm leaving today. I'm gonna lay in the hot sun and roll a big fat one and grab my guitar and play. 4 days flew by like a drunk Friday night in the summer drew to an end. They can't believe that I just wouldn't leave and bid adieu to my friend. My bartender, she's from the island, her body smells like the sun. And other places a scent of tequila, I know it's her or the rum. I got my toes in the water, my ass in the sand, not a worry in the world, a cold beer in my hand. Life is good today, life is good today. Adios and via con Dios. Yeah, I'm leaving today. This is all the specials, they call me Big Papa. When I throw pesos their way. Adios and via con Dios. I'm going home now to stay. Someone do me a favor and pour me a Jaeger. I will get my guitar and play. Adios and via con Dios. Home now to stay. The senoritas don't care when there's no dinero. I got no reason to stay. Adios and via con Dios. Going home now to stay. Just do me a favor when I get there. Prop me up by the lake somewhere. I got my ass in the lawn chair, my toes in the clay, not a worry in the world, a PBR on the way. Life is good today, That's some Zach Browne band for you. Happen, man. Can't do it. If you gave me like more than right now to prepare, I could do it, but just off the top of my head, a chick song on top of that, some I might could do, but that one's a little bit pushing it. Anything, you know, in my neck of the woods that you'd like to hear? Perhaps some Crosby, Stills, and Nash. If you're down and confused and you don't remember who you've been talking to, concentration slip away. Cause baby, I'll just have to see you guys on Wednesday. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I have some good stuff prepared for you on Wednesday.